Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a market that might sound a bit obscure, but trust me, the numbers are huge. We're talking about compound Houttuynia.
Right. Probably not something most people have heard of.
Exactly. But it's heading towards being worth billions. So what is it, and why is it growing so fast? That's what we're going to unpack. We're using the Compound Houttuynia Market Forecast 2025-2033 from Cognitive Market Research. It's a really detailed report.
Yeah, it looks pretty comprehensive. Global, regional, lots of detail.
So let's get into it. Our goal here is to really understand the story behind these numbers, who's driving this, where's the growth happening, and basically give you the quick version of why this matters.
Sounds good. Where do we start? The big picture.
Yeah, let's start global. So Compound Houttuynia, it's essentially a traditional herbal extract. You find it in things like supplements, some cosmetics, maybe some therapeutic uses.
Known for certain, let's say, unique properties.
Right. Now, globally, sales were just under $1 billion in 2021, about $997 million.
Okay. Already a decent size.
Yeah. But look at this. By 2025, they expect it to hit $1.44 billion. And then by 2033, it's forecast to reach over $3 billion. So $3,028 million, basically. More than tripling in, what, 12 years?
That's pretty remarkable growth. What's fascinating here is the compound annual growth rate, the COGR. It's 9.7% globally.
Almost 10% year on year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that consistency tells you it's not just a blip. It points to some sustained demand, maybe shifts towards natural products or specific health trends driving it.
Makes you wonder what's behind it, right?
Definitely. That consistent growth suggests something more fundamental is going on.
Okay, so let's zoom in. Where is this happening? Let's start with North America.
Right?
So North America was around $380 million in 2021. It's expected to cross the $1 billion mark by 2033, so $1.08 billion. That's a regional CDR of about 9%.
Solid growth for a developed market.
Yeah. And the U.S., predictably, has the biggest piece. It goes from about $270 million to $741 million by 2033. But look at Canada. It's growing faster, actually, a CAGR of over 10%.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, from $73 million up to $231 million. And Mexico is doing well, too, around 9.4% growth, hitting $111 million.
It's interesting to see those different rates within the region. Canada outpacing the U.S. slightly in percentage terms.
Right. What do you make of that?
Well, it could be a few things. Maybe faster consumer uptake there, different regulations around natural health products. It just shows it's not uniform, even within North America.
Good point. Okay, let's hop over to Europe then.
Sure.
Europe started at about $303 million in 2021. They project it'll nearly triple to over $902 million by 2033.
And the CAGR there?
Pretty strong, too, about 9.5% for the region.
Okay, very close to the global average.
Yeah. Now, within Europe, the UK is really leading the charge. It has the highest growth rate in the region, almost 10.4%.
Wow.
Going from $68 million to $227 million. Germany is also strong, 9.9% CGR, hitting $164 million. France is solid, too, around 8.9%, reaching $114 million.
And you see growth across the board, Italy, Spain.
Yep. Italy, Spain, Russia, the Nordics, like Sweden and Denmark, Switzerland. They all show growth, though the rates vary a bit.
Right, and that variation is key, isn't it? You've got the UK booming, but then maybe Switzerland, you said, might be a bit slower.
Yeah, Switzerland's CIGR is closer to 6.9%.
Okay, so that suggests different market stages, maybe different consumer attitudes towards these kinds of products across Europe. It's not just one single market.
Definitely a patchwork. Okay, so now, Asia Pacific. This region is a huge part of the story.
I was waiting for this one. Usually a big growth engine.
Absolutely. It started at $192 million in 2021, but it's projected to surge to over $640 million by 2033.
And the growth rate.
Impressive. 10.7% AGR for the whole region.
Okay, so slightly above the global average. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
How so?
Well, you see this high regional rate, but then you look at individual countries. China, for example, it's the biggest chunk, right?
Yeah, $78 million in 2021, heading towards $271 million.
And the CAGR is even higher, 10.9%. Japan's strong, too, over 10.5% growth.
Right, hitting $128 million.
But look at India. It starts smaller, just under $10 million.
Okay.
But it's projected to hit $37 million with a KGR of nearly 11.8%. That's remarkable growth.
Wow, yeah. That's really taken off.
And then there's Singapore. Tiny market to start, about $6 million. But it has the highest country CAGR in the whole report, 12.2%. Projected to hit $23 million.
Over 12%. What's driving that, do you think? Just broader economic trends?
I think it connects directly to that. Rapidly growing economies, rising disposable income, more focus on health and wellness. It creates this perfect environment for products like Compound Houttuynia to find a market.
Makes sense. Okay, let's keep moving. South America.
Right.
This region started at nearly $44 million in 2021. The forecast takes it to about $125 million by 2033.
Okay, and the growth rate.
Pretty steady,
Right.
9.2% CAGR, so solid, consistent growth.
And who's leading there? Brazil, I assume?
Yeah, Brazil's the biggest, going from $22 million to over $62 million. But you also see good growth in Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile. It seems quite widespread.
That consistency across South America is noteworthy. It suggests broad acceptance, maybe growing trust in these kinds of wellness products beyond just the major hubs.
Interesting take. Okay, next up, the Middle East.
Right.
Started around $41 million in 2021, projected to hit over $131 million by 2033.
How's the growth rate looking?
Strong, a regional TVGR of 10.2%.
So another region with double-digit growth. That's significant.
Definitely. Saudi Arabia is a key player, expected to reach $38 million. The UAE also shows really powerful growth, almost 10.7% CADR, going from around $8 million to nearly $27 million. And Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, they're all part of that positive picture, too.
Yeah, that robust regional KGR for the Middle East really points to strong demand building there. Maybe increased health spending, maybe just more interest in natural products as economies diversify.
Seems plausible.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, let's talk about Africa.
Ah, yes. Often a region with huge potential.
And it looks like it's realizing some of that here.
Yeah.
Africa started at about $37 million in 2021. It's projected to reach almost $145.5 million by 2033. But get this. The regional CGR is the highest of all.
Higher than Asia Pacific.
Higher than everyone, 12.4%.
Wow. Okay, that is the headline number, isn't it? Over 12% growth for the entire continent.
It's pretty staggering, and if we connect this to the bigger picture...
It really speaks volumes about emerging economies, doesn't it? Rapid adoption, maybe leapfrog in some older market stages. Where's the growth coming from within Africa?
Well, Nigeria is a big part, going from $16.6 million to nearly $63 million. That's almost 12% CAGR.
Strong.
But South Africa has the highest individual country rate in Africa, almost 13%.
Close to 13%. Amazing.
Yeah, from $9.5 million up to nearly $40 million. Even the rest of Africa category shows a CGR over 12.8%.
So it's widespread rapid expansion. That aligns perfectly with what we see in broader economic shifts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Rising populations, better access to information, fueling these new markets.
Absolutely. So let's try and wrap this up. To recap, Compound Houttuynia, a market most haven't heard of, going from under $1 billion in 2021 to over $3 billion projected by 2033. A global TGR close to 10%.
And that growth, as we saw, it's pretty much everywhere. Developed markets like North America and Europe are growing steadily. But you see this incredible acceleration in Asia Pacific and especially Africa, driving those really high regional KGRs, tripling the global market in, what, 12 years? That's huge.
It really is.
You know, this really raises an interesting question for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
What does the boom in a niche market like this actually tell us? What does it signal about bigger shifts in global consumer preferences, maybe towards natural wellness, and just how interconnected our economies are becoming as we head towards the 2030s?
That's a great point. So what does this all mean for you? Beyond the fascinating numbers, maybe think about those broader ripple effects. What does it say about health trends, the natural products industry, or just what people around the world are starting to value more?
Yeah, it's about seeing how these specific data points fit into that larger global puzzle.
Exactly. Gaining that deeper understanding quickly. Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.